What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do 2 unboxings today, so let's get started. So the first one is Karl's fall package. So the way this package works is they put together 5 lures that they think is going to be dominant during the fall. And then you just go ahead, you just go through and you pick your colors. Obviously, you don't have to pick all 5, but these 5 are the ones that they think are going to get you the biggest bass. So let's get started. So the first one we have is, let me open up my bag here, the 10,000 Fish Cycle Bait. It is a 1/2 ounce. It's got the Colorado blade. It is black and blue. So this is probably my second time, I believe, getting this. So like I said, this thing is awesome. Let's get a closer look here. This thing is really cool. I'm super excited to throw it. And then the reason why is because right here on the back, it tells you how a traditional spinnerbait tracks, and then how this one tracks. So, and then obviously you can throw, this is their Yodel worm right here as well as a trailer, but you can also obviously put on other trailers. But like I said, it's all about the change in presentation. So, you know, somebody could have been out there throwing 2, 3, 4 different types of spinnerbaits, but then you come out and you throw this one. Just that small tweak in presentation could make a huge difference. Next up we have, alright, so Googan Squad Clickbait. So this is their vibrating jig, obviously. So this is a 1/2 ounce, and this is black and blue with a 5/0 hook. So I am a huge fan of their stuff. I've used their stuff before. I haven't had luck on, I think 3, I think this is my 4th one. I've only gotten 1 bass so far. I do have like ZMan Chatterbait, and I do have the Terminator stuff too, so I'm not consistently throwing this one out, but I'm excited to get one in black and blue. And then, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's kind of faint, but they do mark all their heads with the weight on it as well. Let me get a look at that blade. That blade is huge on the front there. Let me get another shot of it. You got the Googan Squad in the eyes as well. Awesome. Very, very awesome. Next up we have the Biospawn Rattlebot. 2.5 inches. It is a 1/2 ounce. And it is a lipless crankbait. The color is called Muted Shad. I think I think this is the second one that I've got, because I did buy the Biospawn Essentials kit. What I really like about this lipless crankbait, I've never thrown one of these out, is, I'm going to try to get closer in here. It's like grooved. It's not just your typical traditional lipless crankbait where it's got the flat sides, or maybe it's just got a little bit of protrusion from the fins. But it looks amazing. Just look at it. So we'll try to see, and it's definitely different on top as well. It's got a little groove on top here. It's got a little dip. So like I said, this stuff is very interesting. I've never ever seen anything like this before. So very, very neat. Alright, next up we have 10,000 Fish and their Death Stalker. So this is a 1/2 ounce, and it is, the color's called Lemon Drop. So I typically don't throw blade baits. I honestly have no idea how to fish them, but obviously there's YouTube for that. So definitely I'm going to go and watch some videos. Obviously this bait typically produces during the fall, but you know, spring spawn season is coming up, so maybe I'm gonna have to definitely look it up on how to fish these, and maybe throw this out a couple times during the spawn and just see what happens. And then last but not least, 5-inch dart. It's a 10-pack, and the color is called Spray Lettuce. And this is by Googan Baits. I've always wanted their darts, especially when they first came out with it. I typically don't fish with, I guess you would say, fluke style baits, This does have like that split tail. It doesn't have the traditional swim bait paddle tails. But you can still use this as a trailer. You can still use this by itself. I've seen a lot of, typically, so I have had these before, the style of bait. I normally just use it and just hook with an EWG. So, you know, it comes through here, it goes down to the belly, and then it comes out on top. I have recently seen anglers just hook it through the first, like, I don't know, ½ inch, and they just kind of use it like a soft jerk bait. Just super interesting, because I obviously, I'm not too familiar with that fishing style, so I never would have thought of that, but it's super interesting, and I'm definitely excited, definitely to throw this during the spring, when the bass are super aggressive. So, we will see. But yeah, so 5-inch dart, it is a 10-pack, the color is called Sprayed Lettuce. So that does it for the Karls fall package. And then next up, we're gonna do my MTB box, box number 3. So let's go ahead and get started on this bad boy. And then obviously open it up. So this is what it looks like. And then it always comes with this right here. So you can go and you can tag them on Instagram and Facebook if you catch a bass and you use this ruler right here. And it's crazy. If you actually look it up, there are actually some anglers out there that their bass literally goes from front to back. It's crazy. There's a lot of mondos that have been caught using a lot of mondos that were used on this ruler here. Alright, so let's get started here. So first we have the ZMan cross-eyed chatterbait, 3/8 of an ounce. The color is called Chili Dog. Look at this bad boy. So I don't know too much about their cross-eyed chatterbaits, but I do use their original chatterbaits. I'm thinking about getting into like the jackhammer, the stealth blade, the mini max just came out, so they have so many different variations. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of ZMan and their stuff, and I definitely want to start getting more into their plastics as well. But you can't go wrong. Can never go wrong. Oh, and it rattles. What is that? Just, oh, it does not. This is from the swivel here, or that terminal piece there. I forgot what it's called. Snap ring? No, not snap ring. I forgot. But still, very, very cool, very neat. The color, like I said, it's called Chili Dog. Gorgeous. We'll get a top view as well. Gorgeous. Next up, alright. Googan Squad Recon. So I'm going to take this out of the bag here. So this bad boy is their deep diver. I think this is the deepest one that they make so far. So it dives 8 to 12 feet. It is 2 3/4 of an inch. And it is 5/8 of an ounce. And the color is chartreuse blue back. And like I said, what I really like about the Googan Squad stuff is, look at the bottom. You can see the 8 to 12 feet right there. Obviously, over time, that's probably going to get worn down, but it's nice when you have it in your box, and you're relatively new to throwing cranks. You can kind of, this will definitely give you an indication of how deep the crank typically is supposed to dive. So 8 to 12 feet. Now, obviously, the Googan Squad in the eyes. Very, very cool. And like I said, I am a big fan of their stuff. I actually had a Recon last year, but I lost it. And it was the only one that I had, but I'm definitely excited to put another one in my arsenal. Put that down. Next up, we have Lake Fork Baby Shad, 2.25 inches. The color is called Black Chart Silver Flake. So let's just take a look at this here. Let me just try to separate. So this is a little bit smaller than something I would typically throw. I feel like it's more of a finesse bait. Maybe drop shot style, but it's still very, very cool lure, and it's still very, it looks like it's high quality, and the color looks awesome. Let me see if I can get one. Let's see if I can just push them all up. Just separate one. It's got a different style tail on it too, so that looks really cool. Not your typical paddle tail or your typical split fin. Very, very cool. I've never actually bought tackle from them or had any of their stuff, but heard a lot of great things, and it looks really cool. Next up, we have the Juicy Casting Jig, 3/8 of an ounce, another Googan Squad product, and this color is called Green Pumpkin. And like I said, they always label, I don't know if you can really see, it's kind of dark, but it says 3/8 of an ounce, and I think it's, yeah, it's like written in a dark silver. But I don't have any of their jigs either. I typically don't fish with jigs either, but it's definitely something to have in your arsenal, and it doesn't hurt to try when the bite is really tough, especially for me. But look at this thing. Thing looks gorgeous. Very, very cool. Next up, we have Western Scandinavia Shad Slim Sparkling Green. They are 3 inches, and this is a 4-piece. So this looks really, really cool. I think in my mystery tackle box reserve, I did get their craw, their creature bait. But I looked up this company, and it looks like they do make some really, really great stuff. So obviously, I guarantee you this is going to be amazing as well. It's typically a little bit smaller than I would like if I was to throw this out there by itself, but it's definitely not bad to have, especially if you use it at as a trailer, or if you're using it for like a smaller profile swim jig, or like a chatterbait, or like a smaller like 1/4 ounce spinnerbait or something like that. So very, very cool. See if maybe we can get in on the color here. Very neat. Next up we have, alright, Spirit Point EWG Hooks. 3-pack, and is a 3/0. So, and it never hurts to have too much terminal tackle with you, because you never know. But it looks like it definitely does. Got this custom bend to it as well. Very, very cool. And then we have a Strike Pro Baitster 90. I think I got a 110 in one of my other boxes. So, I've never bought anything from them either. This is my second time getting a lure from them, or from this company. But it looks amazing. So this is a Baitster 90, color is AU. The length is 3 9/16 of an inch. It weighs 5/16 of an ounce. So the depth is 4.5 feet to 6 feet, and it is a floating jerkbait. So let's see if we can get in on this color here. And I'll show you the beak as well. So it's definitely different. It's not your traditional where it's got, you know, the typical bill. This is definitely very unique. I'm definitely excited to see the action in the water, just to see how different it is from my Scout and my Rapala 110. Awesome. Very, very awesome. Next up we have 13 Fishing. It's called the Bubble Butt. So it is 5 inches. It weighs 1/4 ounce. And it is called number 11. And the color is called collard greens. So look at the way this stick bait is shaped. So it's not your traditional Cinco. I can see where it has the bubble butt, but it does have 2 grooves right here. So one right here and one right here as well. It's got a little notch, a little groove in the head as well. So very, very interesting. And like I said, it doesn't hurt to carry something that's just different, more different than your traditional Cinco. Because like I said, that type of presentation, whether you wacky rig it, you Texas rig it, whatever, you know, this will give it a different presentation, especially on the fall, or maybe just like a little twitch. Like this area right here is definitely going to give it different presentation. So like I said, presentation is so key. Very, very key. And then last for the lures, but not least, we have the Googan Squad Flat Banger. This is their square bill as well. The color is, I believe, Sriracha Craw. Yep. It dives 3 to 6 feet. It is 2.5 inches. And it weighs 1/4 ounce. I mean, just look at this. I mean, obviously it's got the Googan Squad symbol in the eyes. But, I mean, the craftsmanship is amazing. Now, obviously, you can see the 3 to 6 feet right there. Look at that. Sriracha Craw. Amazing. Sorry for the glare there. Amazing. Very, very cool. Like I said, I don't know if you can already tell, but I'm very fond of this stuff. And then we also have the Dibble. So Karl von Dibble, obviously ShopKarl. It kind of gives you just tips, stories, things that, you know, typically, obviously there's a lot of information on the internet, but typically things that you already read but you probably forgot, so it's always nice to have a reminder. Sometimes they throw like a code in here, like Acme Tackle. I'm going to cover the code because I'm going to use that. They teach you how to fish, like there's panfish and trout. There's a walleye section. So it's very, very cool. They talk about the pros, angler spotlight, stuff like that. So very, very cool. It's very, very neat. It's always nice to have literature, especially when there's so much information out there on the internet and it's kind of centralized in here. And it's always just a refresher. Obviously, if you're pretty new to bass fishing like I am myself, some of these tips and tricks, it's not very common. So it's nice to just, like I said, have a centralized location. And then obviously, always coming out with these killer stickers. So look at this sticker right here. Amazing. I got two of the same sticker. Nice. Very, very nice. And then last but not least, obviously your baits deserve pro tips and videos. So scan this doohickey with your phone camera to get them. So obviously it's really nice that you get more pro tips and tricks. All you have to do is just scan this QR code here. And then obviously it always gives you a list of what's in your box and then how much the items cost. So it's very nice to see this because it definitely adds value because, you know, I mean, you can go and look all this stuff up on the internet too to get the value, but it's nice because they put it right in here. But other than that, that is the end of the 2 unboxings. And like I said, I just did the appreciation package as well. There was only 3 entries, and then it went to entry number 2, which was my younger brother. So I'm going to be bringing that with me when I go up there to go see him next weekend. But other than that, Thanks for all the love and the support, and I got another one coming. Hopefully there's going to be more entries, I hope. But till next time, peace.